What's up? Back with another video. I told you I was gonna be more consistent. Okay, give you a little preview to what just happened, because I made a video. Before this one that y'all are about to watch, so just know that. Now, for those who don't know, I have been in tech for 13 years, and literally, I know how to troubleshoot devices and troubleshoot my stuff. But I have bought a 256 gigabyte SD card, and I already had a perfectly good 128 one, but I was like, you know what, I'm about to start YouTube again. Let me get a bigger size. Cool.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big.
Didn't need it, and I gotta return it, because literally I recorded a whole video, a whole story time that, and God don't make no mistakes, so maybe God didn't want me to tell that story time, but maybe I'll tell it later on. I recorded it, everything's time to, I wanted to do the SD card reader lightning to my phone so it could be directly there and I can edit it that way. Boom, it's not reading it at all. So call Apple just to make sure, after I did all my troubleshooting stuff, it's not reading. Something told me, she said, do you have another SD card reader, SD card to try? Why? I tried a 128 one and it worked. So that story time is not this story time, but I will re-record it, and in the process I'll figure it out. But for this story time, based on the title that y'all reading up above, we're gonna talk about a time that I went on it wasn't a blind date, but it was a social media date, right? And we're gonna call this date Detroit. This guy was from Detroit. I don't like using people's real names and things like that. So we just gonna call him Detroit. Now, Detroit and I met through Instagram. And he actually just moved from Detroit, and he lived in New York now. And so, like, you know, he was attractive, he was cute and all this stuff. So he asked me on a date, and I was just like, you know what, bet, let's go. I'm single, you're single. And this took place maybe around like 5 years ago, right? Five-ish years ago. We decided on a location, and it was within reason for both of us. Like, it was on the east side of Manhattan, like literally by 14th Street. And for some reason, I did not look up the restaurant. I just was like, okay, we're gonna go. You know, I just wanna be in your presence. I wanna see your, vibe and everything. This place that we went to, which I forgot the name of it, but it was a vegan restaurant. And nothing against that, like, it was a new experience. I didn't mind it. But needless to say, maybe it could have been the way it was prepared. It just was not slapping. It was not slapping. So, but even before that, I got to the date, right? He told me, he was just like, oh, I'm here. And I literally was like 5 minutes late. I don't like being late to places. That is a pet peeve of mine. I love being on time or a little bit early. But I wound up being like 5 minutes late for this. Went to, like, literally walked to the hostess desk and said, oh, I'm looking for such and such. He's here already. And she pointed me to the table, and it was like a movie. It was like, you turn around and it's just like, oh. And he looked exactly, because we had FaceTime, we had talked before, but he looked like he looked better. He looked better. And I was just like, oh, yes. And so I was just like, oh. And then he stood up, and he was my height. Exactly. And I don't chucks. Which is nothing against that. But his height does play a factor until later in the story. But anyway, yeah. So he was exactly my height, whatever. Brush that past. And we had lunch. It was amazing. We was talking. We was like, something I like to do, and this is just me on dates, but I am like literally like a clown. So like, we were like talking about like what date you think this person is on. I think that's date 5. I think that's date 1. Like, do you think they're gonna talk later on? I don't know, I'm not sure. Like, he was feeling my vibe. I'm like that girl when it comes to, like, I don't want to make things awkward. I know how to talk. I know how to socialize. I know how to, express myself. So, and build up a conversation. But we were having a good time. We both were attractive. We both were good looking. And like, it was just nice. He paid for the, we were both ready to go. He paid for he paid for the lunch, and then we was just like, you busy? And I was like, no. Like, he's like, you got something to do after? I was like, no. So I was like, what do you want to do? He was like, let's just walk around. And I was just like, okay, I like that. Like, I like that, because that means you don't want this to end. That means either that or you trying to stall for some time because you got something else planned. I don't know. But yeah, no, we walked around. We walked all the way to the High Line, and then we got on the High Line and walked across that. And we was just like vibing. I think it was literally, we left, like we got to lunch at maybe 2 o'clock. And we didn't part ways until like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock actually. And that's because like, it was an enjoyable time. Like, we ate, we were talking, we joked, we were talking. Like, that's just that. So everything is going good. Not even caring about his height, like whatever. And so like we crossed the High Line and we're walking, and we get to by like Hudson. They have a mall over there. So we went in there, not intending to buy stuff or anything like that, but we just went in there and we were like just looking and stuff like that. And I was just like, you should let me dress you, should let me put you in something. He was like, what you got for me? And I was just like, let me put an outfit together. So I put it together, and I was like, I think you should get this look and stuff like that. And so he was like, no, I'm not feeling it. But it was fun. Like, we were just joking, we were talking. Everything is going good. Everything is going good. We took photos, everything. We part ways, no kiss, no nothing, just like a embrace, a nice hug and everything. And maybe the next day I get a text saying like, oh, I think, we had an amazing time, but I don't think we should go any further than that. Shakana, like what? Like, I'm confused. I thought we was vibing. I'm confused. I'm confusion. I don't understand. So I was just like, I replied back saying like, oh, was it, I thought that the chemistry was there. I was confused. Like, is it something I did, or is there like someone else? Like, I was confused because the math wasn't mathing. And he basically said, oh, it's just like, I don't think you're my type, but you didn't notice. You didn't notice before the date. You like, we had FaceTime. Like, you didn't, you was on we met on Instagram. Okay, so you telling me you wasted my time. Okay, no problem. I, in the past, was very nice to people. Meaning, like, if they was like, oh, April, you're not my type, or oh, whatever, I'll give them a pass. Like, I'll give them a pass. But now that I'm in therapy and I'm analyzing the stuff that I've been through in life, what do you mean I'm not your type, but yet you spent that whole day? It don't make sense. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to me? Like, even if you wanted to kill time, let's say you wanted to just kill time, you wanted to just go on a date, okay, fine, but at least set the expectation ahead of time. Like, say like, this is a friend date or whatever. But it did not make sense to me that the vibe was there, the chemistry was there, at least on my part. This is stuff that I'm thinking. But you don't spend 7-8 hours with a person on a first date and tell them like, help me. Yeah, help me, y'all, because I don't understand. So anyway, then I replied, I was just like, it's something I said. He replied back basically saying, no, it was just literally like, I don't think we're a good match. I don't think, you're a cool chick. And I was just like, okay. But in the back of my mind, I really wanted to ask him, was it a height thing? I really wanted to ask him, is it a height thing? Because don't get me wrong, I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I know that some men don't like women who are taller than like, or my height, or like, whatever. Like, maybe they prefer shorter women and stuff like that. I can't help my height. That's something I can't control. But yeah, that was just a weird experience because it didn't make sense. And I was like, I smell good. Like, even thinking about it now, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I went on an amazing date, had an amazing time with I thought was an amazing man. And he was just like, no, it was not. Or maybe my vibe was just not matching his vibe at the time. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That was a weird date that happened that I don't regret, but it was just like, why do you want to waste your time with something that you know is not going to go past X, Y, and Z? Like, I don't understand that. And you know, not like gonna lie to you, even with the way he replied and said, yeah, I left some stuff out, but Troy, you know who you are. You was talking a little spicy when you said what you said about like the whole, you know, like this is not a match. He didn't talk like spicy. He gave me very curry to a degree. So I was like, okay, but you 5'7" talking like you 6'2". Where's the connecting? Okay, so that was the story time about Detroit. Needless to say, I hope he's okay. We don't communicate anymore, but it was a good experience. I would say that even if the date doesn't go past one date, I mean, even if there's nothing else besides just that one date, enjoy it. Like, you know, he was a gentleman. He was respectful. He was it's not him, by the way, but he was respectful. He, you know, he pulled out the chair when I got to the restaurant and sat down. Like, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. So I take that as a win for me, because it was a good experience. Like, I got out the house, I was able to meet a new person. We talked on a more, you know, face-to-face level. We walked with, like, things don't have to end up in a relationship. Sometimes you could take a date for what it is. It's a date. It was a chance to experience someone new. So I don't regret it. It was fun. I had fun, at least. I don't know about him, but and you know, Detroit, I'm not gonna lie, you messed up a good thing, because, you know, my Yelp reviews say otherwise. Okay, the men who have dated me, who have been in a relationship with me, tell me I'm a vibe. Okay, I'm a vibe. Okay, so you missed out on a good vibe. Okay. If you like this story time, and you want more story times, trust me, I have been on dates with some amazing men that I am dying to tell you about. And then I've been on dates with some men you'd be like, April, why in the world were you talking to them? But you gotta like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I don't need 1 million, you know, views. I would love 1 million views, but I don't need 1 million views. As long as my stories inspire or humor or bring a smile or bring a tear to some of y'all faces, I'm okay. I made your day. At least this energy hopefully pushed out into your room or wherever you're at watching this video, and that is my goal. So if you like this video, please share it on TikTok, do whatever, on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, send it in the text, whatever you gotta do, and see y'all next video. Literally, these story times are gonna keep coming, and the vlogs are gonna keep coming as well. Plus I got some other things that I'm gonna be doing as well to it. I promise. I hate when people text me and I gotta put it on silent next. But till next time, talk to y'all later.